Allison with FlickDirect.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks. And we're going to talk about Hot Seat today, for the most part. I may throw something else in there. So what attracted you to this story?
For me, it's a couple things. It's like, I love intense thrillers. So being able to do something that had like a lot of twists and turns was a lot of fun for me. But the other thing that I thought was really interesting was, when I was reading the script, I was like, how do I make a person sitting in a chair intense and interesting? And so like when I started thinking about that when I was reading it, I was like, that's the challenge. And I liked the idea of the challenge of making that fun and interesting. Because, I was like, this almost could like live or die on how it's done. And so that's kind of what really drew me to it. Because I was like, okay, I'm up for the challenge. And hopefully I succeeded in said challenge.
I think you did. I felt like there was a lot of tension. I wonder how Kevin felt about having to sit in that chair for so long and be dramatic without as much body language as an actor would normally use.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin is so wonderful. He was great to work with. I mean, such a great guy. I mean, I love that guy. KD is one of the coolest people I know, and I really think he brings like a seriously relatability to this character. And he's like your everyman. Like it feels like this could happen to like your neighbor or your cousin, or he really makes it feel like very human. And I really feel like audiences will connect with that.
Yeah, because audiences are not necessarily going to connect with a brilliant hacker.
Yeah.
But because he's a father, he's a family man whose family is falling apart in the beginning of this film. So you're right, he is very relatable. What kind of challenges did you have? Because you had such a small space for him and he had to sit in the chair. I know you tried different angles and things, and I love the idea of the different cameras that could see him from above. So what was the challenges with that?
One of the challenges just in general is, in rehearsals we really found the challenge, but one of the challenges just in general is like, you want to like go like this,
yeah.
like you want to like get up and do it like, hey, and it's like, well, you can't. So it was really getting down like, okay, you can push around, you can move around. And then the other thing is like, Kevin, plays most of the movie to a camera or to a computer. You know what I mean? So yes. Even though he might be interacting with another actor, he's not looking at them. And so like that's kind of it's a very different way to play a character, and luckily Kevin really brought it, but it was really awesome in that sense, but I think it's definitely a challenge, and I think he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because there were times when he was sitting in that chair that I wanted to go like this and, have him stand up, but it must have been difficult.
That's kind of the beauty of it too, right? Because like, as the audience, where you're just thinking like, is he going to adjust too much or is he going to stand up? I think that kind of creates the tension as well. And part of, what we were doing with like the magnetic fence on the ground too, where like, his wheel gets too close to it. It's just ways to create tension in moments where there wasn't necessarily tension at that moment. And I thought that was kind of an interesting thing to play with as well, so that at any moment, the audience needs to feel like that bomb could go off if he just moves wrong,
Yes. Yeah. I felt like this movie also had lots of Easter eggs from other films. How many of those did you add after the script was written, or were they in the original script?
Oh, I add Easter eggs in my movies for every movie I do. There's like, everything I do is random Easter eggs for certain things, because, I grew up watching movies and I love film. And so, for me, it's just like, oh, I get excited because I get to go like, oh, that's my throwback to this shot, or that's my this, so I get to do stuff like that. And that gets really exciting. And I also plug myself into every movie. So I'm secretly one of the people in the park in the beginning of the movie. I'm the guy who can't get
really?
I'm the guy who cannot get the water fountain to work.
I know, I gotta go watch it again to see that you're in there. And now every time I watch one of your films, I'm gonna be like, okay, where is he? Where is he? So
I'm in every single one of my films randomly somewhere. Usually without any dialogue, because I'm very bad at memorizing any lines. So.
Well, listen, if you're ever in South Florida shooting and you want somebody to just stand in the background, I'm here. Anyway.
Sounds good. I'll hold you to it.
There you go. Mel Gibson, how did he get on board?
So Mel was involved with the project very early on, and he had a pre-existing relationship with the producers. So I was because they had done Boss Level with him.
Yeah.
So I definitely was excited to work with Mel. I mean, what a legend! I mean, the guy is unbelievably talented, and he elevates everything that he touches. You know, he's just a really, really talented actor and director. And so, working with somebody like that, it's really awesome to be able to collaborate with such a brilliant performer.
I wanted to ask you about that because he is known as a very good director. So was he giving you pointers along the way, or did he want to do things a certain way?
No. Mel is very collaborative. He never overstepped in any way. But I will say, I'm a film nerd, so I'd be like, hey, Mel, I'm thinking about doing this this way. What do you think? And he's like, if asked, he would say something, but I just thought it was really cool because he's just such a talented guy, and he really cares. And it was really cool, because not only did I talk with Mel about the character and the movie, but I got to talk with him about hey, how did you stylistically do that in Hacksaw Ridge? I was talking about certain cool sequences that he did, and I was what was the mindset of that? And so it was really really awesome working with him and collaborating, and he's just a very talented guy.
Yeah, it comes across in the film, absolutely. This is coming out, limited release, July 1st, along with digital and on demand. That's a holiday weekend. Is there concerns for you, or are you excited about being part of a holiday weekend?
I'm excited when we got a movie about a bomb and explosions coming out for 4th of July. It's not going to be the only thing doing fireworks, right? Let's get it out there. I'm excited. I think that this is a fun movie for people to check out, and I think that the holiday weekend is good for it. So let the fireworks fly. Hopefully everybody wants to check this one out.